olalım. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today we are going to start with part 14, Juz 14, page 261, Surah Al-Hijr, verse 1.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب وقرآن مبين ربما يود الذين كفروا لو كانوا مسلمين ذرهم يأكلوا ويتمتعوا ويلههم الأمل فسوف يعلمون وما أهلكنا من قرية إلا ولها كتاب معلوم ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون وقالوا يا أيها الذي نزل عليه الذكر إنك لمجنون لو ما تأتينا بالملائكة إن كنت من الصادقين ما ننزل الملائكة إلا بالحق وما كانوا إذا منظرين إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون ولقد أرسلنا من قبلك في شيع الأولين وما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون كذلك نسلكه في قلوب المجرمين لا يؤمنون به وقد خلت سنة الأولين ولو فتحنا عليهم بابا من السماء فظلوا فيه يعرجون لقالوا إنما سكرت أبصارنا بل نحن قوم مسحورون.
One. Alif Lam Ra. These are the revelations of the book, a Quran clear in itself and clearly showing the truth. Again and again will those who disbelieve wish that they had been Muslims. 3. Leave them that they may continue to eat and enjoy themselves, and let that hope for a long, easy life distract them from considering their main duty in life and considering their end. 4. And we did not destroy any township unless it had a known and recorded. 5. No community can ever hasten on the end of its term, or nor can they delay it. 6. They say, O you, on whom the reminder, the book of advice, warning, and instructions is sent down. Truly you are a madman. 7. Why do you not bring down the angels to us if you are truthful in your claim? 8. Why we do not send down the angels save with the truth for a just reason and with wisdom, not to satisfy vain caprice or curiosity. And once the angels are sent down, the matter is decided, and then they are allowed no further respite. 9. Indeed, it is we who sent down the remainder, and in parts, and it is indeed we who are its guardian. 10. Indeed, certainly we sent messengers before you among the communities of old.
ولقد جعلنا في السماء بروجا وزيناها للناظرين وحفظناها من كل شيطان رجيم إلا من استرق السمع فأتبعه شهاب مبين والأرض مددناها وألقينا فيها رواسي وأنبتنا فيها من كل شيء موزون وجعلنا لكم فيها معايش ومن لستم له برازقين وإن من شيء إلا عندنا خزائنه وما ننزله إلا بقدر معلوم فأرسلنا الرياح لواقح فأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأسقيناكموه وما أنتم له بخازنين وإنا لنحن نحيي ونميت ونحن الوارثون ولقد علمنا المستقدمين منكم ولقد علمنا المستأخرين وإن ربك هو يحشرهم إنه حكيم عليم ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من صلصال من حمأ مسنون والجان خلقناه من قبل من نار السموم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني خالق بشرا من صلصال من حمأ مسنون فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين فسجد الملائكة كلهم أجمعون إلا إبليس أبى أن يكون مع الساجدين
16. As evidence for a people open to faith, we have assuredly set in the heaven great constellations, and we have made it, the heaven, beautiful for those beholding. 17. And we have made it secure against every accursed Satan rejected from God's mercy. 18. Excepting one who listens by stealth and is pierced and destroyed by a shooting star clear to see. 19. And the earth we have spread it out, and therein firm mountains, and caused to grow therein of every kind in balance and proportion and in measured quantity. 20. And we have provided means of livelihood therein for you, and for those whom you do not provide, such as beasts, birds, and fish. 21. There is not a thing but the stores, for its life and sustenance are with us, and we do not send it down except in due determined measure. 22. And we send the winds to fertilize, and so we sent down water from the sky, and give it to you to drink, and use in other ways. It is not you who are the keepers of its stores on the earth. 23. Surely it is also we who give life and cause to die, and we are the inheritors. It is we who remain after all others have passed away. 24. And well do we know those of you who have gone before and those who are to come later. 25. In your Lord, he will surely raise to life and gather them together on judgment day. He is all wise, all knowing. 26. Assuredly, we have created humankind from dried sounding clay from molded dark mud. 27. And the jinn we had created before from smokeless, scorching fire penetrating through the skin. 28. And remember when your Lord said to the angels, I am creating a mortal from dried, sounding clay from molded dark mud. 29. When I have fashioned him in due proportions and breathed into him out of my spirit, then falling down, prostrating before him as a token of respect for him and his superiority. 30. So the angels prostrated, all of them together, but Iblis did not. He refused to be among those who prostrated. He refused to be among those who prostrated.
قال يا إبليس ما لك ألا تكون مع الساجدين قال لم أكن لأسجد لبشر خلقته من صلصال من حمأ مسنون قال فاخرج منها فإنك رجيم وإن عليك اللعنة إلى يوم الدين قال رب فأنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون قال فإنك من المنظرين إلى يوم الوقت المعلوم قال رب بما أغويتني لأزينن لهم في الأرض ولأغوينهم أجمعين إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين قال هذا صراط علي مستقيم إن عبادي ليس لك عليهم سلطان إلا من اتبعك من الغاوين وإن جهنم لموعدهم أجمعين لها 7 أبواب لكل باب منهم جزء مقسوم إن المتقين في جنات وعيون ادخلوها بسلام آمنين ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل إخوانا على سرر متقابلين لا يمسهم فيها نصب وما هم منها بمخرجين نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم وأن عذابي هو العذاب الأليم ونبئهم عن ضيف إبراهيم
32. God said, O Iblis, what is the matter with you that you are not among those who have prostrated? 33. Iblis said, I am not one to prostrate before a mortal, whom you have created from dried, sounding clay, from molded dark mud. 34. God said, then get you down out of it. Surely you are one rejected from my mercy. 35. And cursing upon you until the day of judgment as recompense for you in the world. 36. Iblis said, then my Lord, grant me respite till the day when they will all be raised from the dead. 37. He, God, said, you are of the ones who granted respite. 38. But until the day of the appointed time known to me, i.e. the last day. 39. Iblis said, my Lord, because you have allowed me to rebel and go astray, I will indeed deck out to be appealing to them on the earth, the worldly material dimension of human existence and the path of error. And I will surely cause them all to rebel and go astray. 40. Accept your servants from among them, endowed with sincerity and faith and your worship. 41. God said, this path of sincerity and faith is a straight path that have taken me upon myself to lead to me. 42. My servants, you shall have no authority over any of them, unless it is be such as follow you, you being rebellious against me as you are. 43. And for all such rebellious people, hell is the promised place. 44. It has 7 gates with an appointed group of them for each gate. 45. The God-revering pious ones are surely in gardens and water springs. 46. And it is said to them, enter you here in peace, perfectly secure. 47. We strip away whatever there is in their bosoms of rancor and jealousy which they may have felt against each other while in the world. As brothers face to face, they take their ease on couches raised. 48. No sense of fatigue ever touches them, nor are they asked to leave. 49. Inform, O Messenger, my servants that I surely am the all-forgiving, the all-compassionate. 50. And that my punishment, it is indeed the painful punishment. 51. Inform them about the guests of Abraham.
إذ دخلوا عليه فقالوا سلاما قال إنا منكم وجلون قالوا لا توجل إنا نبشرك بغلام عليم قال بشرتموني على أن مسني الكبر فبم تبشرون قالوا بشرناك بالحق فلا تكن من القانطين قال ومن يقنط من رحمة ربه إلا الضالون قال فما خطبكم أيها المرسلون قالوا إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم مجرمين إلا آل لوط إنا لمنجوهم أجمعين إلا امرأته قدرنا إنها لمن الغابرين فلما جاء آل لوط المرسلون قال إنكم قوم منكرون قالوا بل جئناك بما كانوا فيه يمترون وأتيناك بالحق وإنا لصادقون فأسر بأهلك بقطع من الليل واتبع أدبارهم ولا يلتفت منكم أحد وامضوا حيث تؤمرون فقضينا إليه ذلك الأمر أن دابر هؤلاء مقطوع مصبحين وجاء أهل المدينة يستبشرون قال إن هؤلاء ضيفي فلا تفضحون فاتقوا الله ولا تخزون قالوا أولم ننهك عن العالمين
Melih, could you read starting from 52, please, Melih?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. 52. They presented themselves before him and bade him peace. Abraham said, we are apprehensive of you. 53. They said, do not be apprehensive. We have brought you the glad tidings of a boy to be endowed with profound knowledge. 54. He said, do you bring me glad tidings when old age has overtaken me? Then how can you bring me such glad tidings? 55. They said, we have brought you the glad tidings with truth. So be not of those who despair. 56. He said, who would despair of his Lord's mercy other than those who are astray? 57. He said, then after that, what is your concern, all you heavenly envoys? 58. They said, indeed, we have been sent down to a people who are all criminals. 59. Except for the family of Lot, we are surely to say to them all. 60. Except his wife, about her God has decreed that she shall be among those who stay behind and are destroyed. 61. And when the envoys came to the family of Lut, 62, he said, you are people unknown here. 63. They said, no, do not be afraid. We have come to you concerning that which they have persistently disputed, the inevitable consequence of their way of life. 64. We have brought you the truth, and we are most certainly speaking the truth. 65. So set forth with your family in a part of the night, with yourself following them in the rear, and let no one among you turn around, but proceed whither you are ordered. 66. We made clear to him that decisive decree that the root of those sinful people was to be cut off in the morning. 67. The people of the city came rejoicing at the news that some handsome guests had arrived. 68. Lut said, "They are my guests, so do not put me to shame." 69. Have fear of God and do not disgrace me. 70. They said, "Have we not forbidden you to offer protection and intercede for anyone in the world?"
قال هؤلاء بناتي إن كنتم فاعلين لعمرك إنهم لفي سكرتهم يعمهون فأخذتهم الصيحة مشرقين فجعلنا عاليها سافلها وأمطرنا عليهم حجارة من سجيل إن في ذلك لآيات للمتوسمين وإنها لبسبيل مقيم إن في ذلك لآية للمؤمنين وإن كان أصحاب الأيكة لظالمين فانتقمنا منهم وإنهما لبإمام مبين ولقد كذب أصحاب الحجر المرسلين وآتيناهم آياتنا فكانوا عنها معرضين وكانوا ينحتون من الجبال بيوتا آمنين فأخذتهم الصيحة مصبحين فما أغنى عنهم ما كانوا يكسبون وما خلقنا السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إلا بالحق وإن الساعة لآتية فاصفح الصفح الجميل إن ربك هو الخلاق العليم ولقد آتيناك سبعا من المثاني والقرآن العظيم لا تمدن عينيك إلى ما متعنا به أزواجا منهم ولا تحزن عليهم واخفض جناحك للمؤمنين وقل إني أنا النذير المبين كما أنزلنا على المقتسمين
71. Lot said, "Here are my daughters whom you might lawfully take in marriage if you have to be doing something of that sort." 72. By your life, O Muhammad, they moved blindly and wildly in their delirium of perversion. 73. The awful blast seized them at the sunrise. 74. And we turned them, the sinful towns, upside down and rained down on them stones of baked clay. 75. Surely in this there are signs, lessons, and messages for those who can read the signs, so as to understand the inner meaning of things and events. 76. They, the traces of those destroyed towns, stand by a road that still exists. 77. Surely in that there is a manifest sign for the believers, for the truth of God's decree and the way He enjoins and the call to it. 78. And the people of Aika were also wrongdoers who associated partners with God. 79. So we inflicted our retribution on them, which they deserved, and both of those sinful communities lived by a highway plain to sea. 80. And most certainly the people of Al-Hijj denied the messengers by denying the messenger sent to them. 81. So we presented to them our signs, including miracles, and sent down our revelations, but they turned away from them in aversion. 82. They hewed out dwellings in the mountains, feeling themselves secure against any calamity. 83. But the awful blast seized them in the morning. 84. All the wealth and power that they acquired was of no avail to them. 85. We do not create the heavens and the earth and all that is between them, save with truth, meaningfully for a definite purpose and on solid foundations of truth, and the last hour is surely bound to come. So overlook the faults of the people, O Messenger, with a gracious forbearance. 86. Surely your God is He who is the Supreme Creator, the All-Knowing. 87. And indeed we have granted you the 7 doubly repeated verses, and built on it the grand Qur'an. 88. Do not strain your eyes towards what we have given some groups among the unbelievers to enjoy in the life of this world, nor grieve over them because of their attitude towards your mission, and lower your wings of compassion and protection for the believers. 89. And say to those coming to Mecca from neighboring towns, surely I am the plain warner against the punishment to be sent down. 90. Just as we have sent down on those who make divisions.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين جعلوا القرآن عضين فوربك لنسألنهم أجمعين عما كانوا يعملون فاستع بما تؤمر وأعرض عن المشركين إنا كفيناك المستهزئين الذين يجعلون مع الله إلها آخر فسوف يعلمون ولقد نعلم أنك يضيق صدرك بما يقولون فسبح بحمد ربك وكن من الساجدين واعبد ربك حتى يأتيك اليقين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أتى أمر الله فلا تستعجلوه سبحانه وتعالى عما يشركون ينزل الملائكة بالروح من أمره على من يشاء من عباده أن أنذروا أنه لا إله إلا أنا فاتقون خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق تعالى عما يشركون خلق الإنسان من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين والأنعام خلقها لكم فيها دفء ومنافع ومنها تأكلون ولكم فيها جمال حين تريحون وحين تسرحون.
91. Those who have broken the Qur'an into fragments as they please. 92. So, by your Lord, we will surely question them all. 93. About what they have been doing. 94. So from now on, proclaim what you are commanded to convey openly and in an emphatic manner, and do not care whatever those who associate partners with God say and do. 95. We suffice you against all those who mock. 96. Those who adopt some deity along with God in time they will come to know. 97. We certainly know that your breast is constricted by the blasphemous things that they say. 98. But glorify your Lord with his praise. Proclaim that he is absolutely above having any partners, and that all praise belongs to him exclusively, and be one of those who prostrate before him regularly in prayer. 99. And continue to worship your Lord until what is certain, death, comes to you. 1. God's command for the calamity to strike the unbelievers and their final destruction at the end of time is bound to come. So, O unbelievers, do not wish it to be hastened by asking the messenger to bring it immediately in order, only to deride and cast doubt on it. All glorified is he, and absolutely exalted above all that they associate with him. 2. He sends down the angels with the Spirit, the life-giving revelation from his absolutely pure, immaterial realm of commands upon whom he wills of his servants, saying, warn people that there is no deity save me. So keep from disobedience to me in reverence for me and piety. 3. He has created the heavens and the earth in truth, meaningfully, for a definite purpose, and on solid foundations of truth. Absolutely exalted is he above all that they associate with him. 4. He has created human from so slight a beginning as a mere drop of seminal fluid, and yet he turns into an open, fierce adversary, selfishly disputing against the truth. 5. And the cattle he has created, from which you get warmth of clothing and other uses, and from them you get food to eat. 6. And in them there is a beauty for you when you drive them home in the evening, and when you take them out to pasture in the morning.
وتحمل أثقالكم إلى بلد لم تكونوا بالغيه إلا بشق الأنفس إن ربكم لرؤوف رحيم والخيل والبغال والحمير لتركبوها وزينة ويخلق ما لا تعلمون وعلى الله قصد السبيل ومنها جائر ولو شاء لهداكم أجمعين هو الذي أنزل من السماء ماء لكم منه شراب ومنه شجر فيه تسيمون ينبت لكم به الزرع والزيتون والنخيل والأعناب ومن كل الثمرات إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون وسخر لكم الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر والنجوم مسخرات بأمره إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون وما ذرأ لكم في الأرض مختلفا ألوانه إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يذكرون وهو الذي سخر البحر لتأكلوا منه لحما طريا وتستخرجوا منه حلية تلبسونها وترى الفلك مواخر فيه ولتبتغوا من فضله ولعلكم تشكرون.
7. They carry your loads to many a land which otherwise you would be unable to reach except with great hardship to yourselves. Indeed, your Lord is all pitying, all compassionate. 8. And horses, mules, and donkeys has he created for you to ride, as well as for ornament, the loveliness they add to your world, and besides all that you see and know of. He creates what you have no knowledge of. 9. With God being your creator, rests the goal of the way to which he will guide and which you must follow. And some ways are crooked, misleading those who follow them. But if God had willed to impose his guidance without granting people freedom of choice, he would surely have guided you altogether on his way. 10. He it is who sends down from the sky water, you drink thereof, and thereof drink the shrubs on which you pasture your cattle. 11. With it, he causes to grow for you the crops, the olives, the date palms, the grapes, and all other kinds of fruit. Surely, in this is a sign manifesting the truth for people who reflect. 12. He has made the night and the day, and the sun and the moon to be of service to you, and the stars are made subservient by his command. Surely in that are signs for people who reason and understand. 13. And whatsoever he has created for you on earth of varying colors and diverse forms and qualities, surely in that is a sign for people who reflect and are mindful. 14. And he it is who has made the sea to be of service to you, so that you eat from it fresh meat, and draw out from it ornaments that you wear. And you see the ships plowing their course through it, so that you may go forth in quest of his bounty, and give thanks to him who has created all this.
وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وأنهارا وسبلا لعلكم تهتدون وعلامات وبالنجم هم يهتدون أفمن يخلق كمن لا يخلق أفلا تذكرون وإن تعدوا نعمة الله لا تحصوها إن الله لغفور رحيم والله يعلم ما تسرون وما تعلنون والذين يدعون من دون الله لا يخلقون شيئا وهم يخلقون أموات غير أحياء وما يشعرون أيان يبعثون إلهكم إله واحد فالذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة قلوبهم منكرة وهم مستكبرون لا جرم أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون إنه لا يحب المستكبرين وإذا قيل لهم ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا أساطير الأولين ليحملوا أوزارهم كاملة يوم القيامة ومن أوزار الذين يضلونهم بغير علم ألا ساء ما يزرون قد مكر الذين من قبلهم فأتى الله بنيانهم من القواعد فخر عليهم السقف من فوقهم وأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون.
15. And he has cast firm mountains on the earth, lest it should shake you with its movement, and rivers and roads, so that you may find your way. 16. And other waymarks, and people find their way by the stars. 17. Is he then who creates to be likened to him who does not create? Will you not reflect and be mindful? 18. And should you attempt to count God's blessings, you cannot compute them. God is indeed all forgiving, all compassionate, who continues to provide for his servants despite their sins and even their denial of him. 19. God knows whatever you keep concealed and whatever you disclose. 20. But those whom they invoke, apart from God, create nothing. Rather, they are themselves created. 21. Dead they are, not living, nor can they give life, being themselves in need of it, and they do not know when they will be raised to life. 22. Your God is the one God, but those who disbelieve in the hereafter, their hearts are in denial of this most evident and essential truth, and the many other truths based on it. They are too arrogant to accept dependence on the Supreme Being and to be answerable to Him. 23. Without doubt, God knows whatever they keep concealed and whatever they disclose. He does not love the arrogant. 24. When it is said to them, what is it that your Lord, who sustains, protects, and raises you, has sent down on the messenger? They say fables of the ancients. 25. Hence, they will bear their own burdens of sin in full on the day of resurrection, and some of the burdens of those whom they, devoid of true knowledge, cause to go astray. Look now, how evil is the burden they load upon themselves. 26. Those before them, like them, persistent in unbelief, wrongdoing, and evil, schemed against the messengers and the divine message they brought. So God struck what they built at its foundations, and the roof fell in upon them from above, and the doom came upon them without their having perceived whence it came.
ثم يوم القيامة يخزيهم ويقول أين شركائي الذين كنتم تشاقون فيهم قال الذين أوتوا العلم إن الخزي اليوم والسوء على الكافرين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة الظالمي أنفسهم فألقوا السلم ما كنا نعمل من سوء بلى إن الله عليم بما كنتم تعملون فادخلوا أبواب جهنم خالدين فيها فلبئس مثوى المتكبرين وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون كذلك يجزي الله المتقين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة طيبين يقولون سلام عليكم ادخلوا الجنة بما كنتم تعملون هل ينظرون إلا أن تأتيهم الملائكة أو يأتي أمر ربك كذلك فعل الذين من قبلهم وما ظلمهم الله ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون فأصابهم سيئات ما عملوا وحاق بهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون.
"27. Then, on the day of resurrection, he will disgrace them and will say, 'Where are those beings whom you claimed as partners with me, and for whose sake you used to oppose the believers, defying and disobeying my guidance?' Those who in their lifetime were endowed with the knowledge declared, 'Disgrace and evil are this day on the unbelievers.' 28. Those whose souls the angels take while they are still wronging themselves by falsely associating partners with God and committing evils. When they see the punishment, they offer full submission, saying in an attempt to excuse themselves, 'We did not mean to do any evil,' but they are answered, 'No, surely God has full knowledge of what you are doing and your intentions therein.' 29. So, go in through the gates of hell to abide therein. How evil, indeed, is the dwelling of the arrogant, those too haughty to accept God's guidance. 30. Whereas it is said to those who keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety, 'What is it that your Lord has sent down on the messenger?' They answer, 'That which is purely good and to our benefit in both worlds.' For those devoted to doing good in this world, aware that God is seeing them, there is good, and the abode of the hereafter is indeed better. How excellent indeed is the abode of the God-revering pious. 31. Gardens of perpetual bliss, which they will enter, through which rivers flow. Therein they will have whatever they may desire. Thus does God reward the God-revering pious. 32. Those whose souls the angels take whilst they are in a pious state, free of evil and worshipping none but God alone, saying, 'Peace be upon you,' enter paradise for what you have been doing. 33. Are they the unbelievers or those who associate partners with God, but waiting for the angels to come to them to take their souls or bring them a disaster, or for your Lord's command to judge them and open hell for them? Even so did those before them. God did not wrong them, but they did wrong themselves. 34. Then the evil consequences of what they used to do fell upon them, and that which they were mocking overwhelmed them.
وقال الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما عبدنا من دونه من شيء نحن ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من دونه من شيء كذلك فعل الذين من قبلهم فهل على الرسل إلا البلاغ المبين ولقد بعثنا في كل أمة رسولا أن اعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت فمنهم من هدى الله ومنهم من حقت عليه الضلالة فسيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين إن تحرص على هداهم فإن الله لا يهدي من يضل وما لهم من ناصرين وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لا يبعث الله من يموت بلى وعدا عليه حقا ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون ليبين لهم الذي يختلفون فيه وليعلم الذين كفروا أنهم كانوا كاذبين إنما قولنا لشيء إذا أردناه أن نقول له كن فيكون والذين هاجروا في الله من بعد ما ظلموا لنبوئنهم في الدنيا حسنة ولأجر الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون الذين صبروا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون.
35. Those who associate partners with God say, had God so willed, we would not have worshipped anything other than him, neither we nor our forefathers, nor would we have declared anything unlawful without a commandment from him. Even so did those who lived before them and associated partners with God like them. But then, is any duty laid upon the messengers except to convey the message clearly? 36. And assuredly, we have raised within every community a messenger to convey the primordial message, worship God alone, and keep away from false deities and powers of evil, who institute patterns of faith and rule in defiance of God. Among them, past generations were people whom God guided, just as those were among them those for whom straying was their just due. Go about, then, on the earth, and look, how is the outcome for those who denied God's manifest signs and his messengers? 37. Though you long ardently for them, all humankind, to be rightly guided, God surely does not guide those whom he has led astray as their just due, and they have no helpers to defend them against God. 38. And by God they swear their most solemn oaths. God will never raise from the dead anyone who has died. No, but it is a promise that he has laid upon himself in truth, but most people do not know, being ignorant and lacking desire for knowledge of the truth. 39. He will indeed fulfill that promise and resurrect them, so that he will make clear to people the truth about what they differ on, and so that those who disbelieve will know that they were liars. 40. Raising the dead to life, like giving them life in the first place, is easy for us. Our word for a thing, when we will, it is simply our saying to it, be, and it is. 41. Those who emigrate to another land for God's cause, after they have been oppressed on account of their faith, we will surely give them goodly residence in the world, and their reward in the hereafter is certainly greater. If only they, all people, knew how great the reward is. Those they are who have persevered in patience through all adversities, and it is in their Lord that they put their trust.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما عبدنا من دونه من شيء نحن ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من دونه من شيء كذلك فعل الذين من قبلهم فهل على الرسل إلا البلاغ المبين ولقد بعثنا في كل أمة رسولا أن اعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت فمنهم من هدى الله ومنهم من حقت عليه الضلالة فسيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين إن تحرص على هداهم فإن الله لا يهدي من يضل وما لهم من ناصرين وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لا يبعث الله من يموت بلى وعدا عليه حقا ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We do have a sajda ayah in this page. Please don't forget to prostrate. Thank you.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون بالبينات والزبر وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم ولعلهم يتفكرون أفامن الذين مكروا السيئات أن يخسف الله بهم الأرض أو يأتيهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون أو يأخذهم في تقلبهم فما هم بمعجزين أو يأخذهم على تخوف فإن ربكم لرؤوف رحيم أولم يروا إلى ما خلق الله من شيء يتفيأ ظلاله عن اليمين والشمائل سجدا لله وهم داخرون ولله يسجد ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من دابة والملائكة وهم لا يستكبرون يخافون ربهم من فوقهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون وقال الله لا تتخذوا إلهين اثنين إنما هو إله واحد فإياي فارهبون وله ما في السماوات والأرض وله الدين واصبا أفغير الله تتقون وما بكم من نعمة فمن الله ثم إذا مسكم الضر فإليه تجأرون ثم إذا كشف الضر عنكم إذا فريق منكم بربهم يشركون.
Or that he will not seize them in the midst of their strutting about, the land in the pomp and show of dominion, and they are helpless to frustrate him. 47. Or that he will not seize them with gradual wasting of wealth and health, giving them time to mend their ways, for surely your Lord is all pitying, all compassionate. 48. Do they not see the things that God has created, how their shadows bend to the right and to the left, making prostration before God, and that in the humblest manner? 49. Before God prostrates itself, whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth of living creatures, and the angels likewise, for they are not arrogant. 50. They, the angels, fear their Lord high above them, in example, who has absolute power over them, and they do what they are commanded. 51. God has said, do not take two or more deities. He is but one God. So be in awe of me and me alone, and be saved from other fears bringing disgrace upon you. 52. To him belongs all that is in the heavens and on the earth, and to him alone absolute obedience is always due. Will you then fear and obey in piety and do reverence with other than God? 53. Whatever blessing you have, it is from God, and when harm touches you, it is to him that you cry for help. 54. When thereafter he removes the harm from you, a party of you attribute partners to their Lord, who alone sustains and provides for you and saves you from misfortunes.
ليكفروا بما آتيناهم فتمتعوا فسوف تعلمون ويجعلون لما لا يعلمون نصيبا مما رزقناهم تالله لتسألن عما كنتم تفترون ويجعلون لله البنات سبحانه ولهم ما يشتهون وإذا بشر أحدهم بالأنثى ظل وجهه مسودا وهو كظيم يتوارى من القوم من سوء ما بشر به أيمسكه على هون أم يدسه في التراب ألا ساء ما يحكمون للذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة مثل السوء ولله المثل الأعلى وهو العزيز الحكيم ولو يؤاخذ الله الناس بظلمهم ما ترك عليها من دابة ولكن يؤخرهم إلى أجل مسمى فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون ويجعلون لله ما يكرهون وتصف ألسنتهم الكذب أن لهم الحسنى لا جرم أن لهم النار وأنهم مفرطون تالله لقد أرسلنا إلى أمم من قبلك فزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فهو وليهم اليوم ولهم عذاب أليم وما أنزلنا عليك الكتاب إلا لتبين لهم الذي اختلفوا فيه وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون
55. And so deny with ingratitude the favors God has granted them. So enjoy, O polytheists, the favor we grant you. In time you will come to know the truth. 56. They assign out of what we provide for them a portion to the things, non-existent deities, misunderstood causes, the real nature of which they have no sure knowledge. By God you will certainly be questioned about what you used to fabricate. 57. And they assign daughters to God. All glorified is he above having children, and to themselves what they desire, sons. 58. When any of them is given news of the birth of a girl, his face becomes overcast, and he is as if choking inwardly with suppressed anger. 59. He hides himself from the people because of the evil, as he wrongly supposes it, of what he has had news of. So he debates within himself. Shall he keep her with dishonor or bury her in the earth? Look now, how evil is the judgment they make concerning God, and how evil is the decision they debate. 60. To those who do not believe in the hereafter applies the most evil of attributes, and to God applies the most sublime attribute, and he is the all-glorious with irresistible might, all-wise. 61. If God were to take people immediately to task for their wrongdoings, he would not leave on it the earth and any living creature, as the wrongdoings of humankind would make the earth uninhabitable. But he grants them respite to a term appointed by him. When their term has come, they can neither delay it by a single moment, nor can they bring it forward. 62. They assign to God that which they dislike for themselves, and all while their tongues utter the falsehood that if there would be another life, as the messenger claims, the best reward, paradise would be theirs. No doubt theirs is, on the contrary, only the fire, and they will be hastened on into it. 63. By God, we certainly sent messengers to the communities before you, O messenger, but Satan decked out their deeds to be appealing to the unbelievers among them. And this day, too, when the Qur'an is being revealed, he's their close friend, and theirs is a painful day, painful punishment on the judgment day. 64. And we have not sent down the book on you, except that you may explain to them all the questions of faith and law on which they differ, and as guidance and mercy for people who will believe and who have already believed.
والله أنزل من السماء ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يسمعون وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونه من بين فرث ودم لبنا خالصا سائغا للشاربين ومن ثمرات النخيل والأعناب تتخذون منه سكرا ورزقا حسنا إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يعقلون وأوحى ربك إلى النحل أن اتخذي من الجبال بيوتا ومن الشجر ومما يعرشون ثم كلي من كل الثمرات فاسلكي سبل ربك ذللا يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون والله خلقكم ثم يتوفاكم ومنكم من يرد إلى أرذل العمر لكي لا يعلم بعد علم شيئا إن الله عليم قدير والله فضل بعضكم على بعض في الرزق فما الذين فضلوا براد رزقهم على ما ملكت أيمانهم فهم فيه سواء أفبنعمة الله يجحدون والله جعل لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا وجعل لكم من أزواجكم بنين وحفدة ورزقكم من الطيبات أفبالباطل يؤمنون وبنعمة الله هم يكفرون.
"65. God sends down from the sky water and therewith revives the earth after its death. Surely in that there is a sign manifesting the truth for people ready to hear and understand the discourses of the book of creation and the revelation." 66. And surely in the cattle feeding on the pastures of the revived earth, there is a lesson for you. We give you from that which is within their bodies, marvelously distinguished from between the waste and blood, milk that is pure and palatable to those who drink. 67. And there are among the produce that God brings forth as nourishment for you on the revived earth, the fruits of the date palm and grapes. You derive from them intoxicants and good, wholesome nourishment. Surely in this is a sign for people who reason understand. 68. And your Lord is inspired the female bee. Take for yourself dwelling place in the mountains and in the trees and in what they, human beings, may build and weave. 69. Then eat of all the fruits, and returning with your loads, follow the ways your Lord has made easy for you. There comes forth from the bellies a fluid of varying color, wherein is health for human beings. Surely in this there is a sign for people who reflect. 70. God has created you, then he takes your souls to him. And among you are those who are deferred to the age of senility, so they do not know of what they once knew anything at all. Surely God is all-knowing, all-powerful. 71. And God has favored some of you above others in provision, and yet while it is we who provide them, those who are more favored do not consent to share their provision with those slaves whom their right hand possess, so that they might be equal with them in this respect. How then do they deny God's grace and bounty and associate partners with him? 72. God has made for you from yourselves mates, spouses, and has made for your children and grandchildren from your mates, and has provided you with good, wholesome things. Do they then believe in falsehood and deny the blessings of God?
ويعبدون من دون الله ما لا يملك لهم رزقا من السماوات والأرض شيئا ولا يستطيعون فلا تضربوا لله الأمثال إن الله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون ضرب الله مثلا عبدا مملوكا لا يقدر على شيء ومن رزقناه منا رزقا حسنا فهو ينفق منه سرا وجهرا هل يستوون الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون وضرب الله مثلا رجلين أحدهما أبكم لا يقدر على شيء وهو كل على مولاه أينما يوجهه لا يأتي بخير هل يستوي هو ومن يأمر بالعدل وهو على صراط مستقيم ولله غيب السماوات والأرض وما أمر الساعة إلا كلمح البصر أو هو أقرب إن الله على كل شيء قدير والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم لا تعلمون شيئا وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة لعلكم تشكرون ألم يروا إلى الطير مسخرات في جو السماء ما يمسكهن إلا الله إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يؤمنون.
73. And do they worship apart from God what has no ownership of any provision in the heavens and the earth with which to provide for them, nor have they whom they falsely worship any capacity to take on, still less discharge such a task? 74. So do not invent similitudes for God, do not liken him to others to associate partners with him, for there is nothing similar to him. Surely God knows what you do not know, the exact truth about him and the exact nature of things. 75. God strikes a parable of two men so that you may understand that true freedom lies in the service of God, because it frees from servitude to all else. A man enslaved, unable to do anything of his own will, and a free man whom we have provided with a fair provision from us, and he spends thereof secretly and openly. Are the two equal? All praise and gratitude are for God, for to him alone belongs absolute ownership and disposition of the universe, but most of them do not know. 76. And God strikes a parable of two other men, one of them dumb, unable to control anything, unable to answer any call, unable to decide any matter or meet any need. He is a burden upon his master. Wherever he directs him, he brings no good. Is he equal with one who enjoins right and justice and is himself on a straight path? 77. And to God belongs absolute dominion and full knowledge of the unseen of the heavens and the earth. And the matter of the hour of doom is in relation with the divine power, but the twinkling of an eye or even quicker. Surely God has full power over everything. 78. God brought you forth from the wombs of your mothers when you knew nothing, and in order that you might be perfected through learning, appointed for you hearing and eyes and hearts, that you may give thanks from the heart and in speech, and in action by fulfilling his commandments. 79. Do they not consider the birds flying in the air subservient to God's command? None holds them but God, who has endowed them with the power of flight. Surely in that there are signs manifesting the truth for people who will believe and who will deepen in faith.
والله جعل لكم من بيوتكم سكنا وجعل لكم من جلود الأنعام بيوتا تستخفونها يوم ظعنكم ويوم إقامتكم ومن أصواتها وأوبارها وأشعارها أثاثا ومتاعا إلى حين والله جعل لكم مما خلق ظلالا وجعل لكم من الجبال أكنانا وجعل لكم سرابيل تقيكم الحر وسرابيل تقيكم بأسكم كذلك يتم نعمته عليكم لعلكم تسلمون فإن تولوا فإنما عليك البلاغ المبين يعرفون بنعمة الله ثم ينكرونها وأكثرهم الكافرون فيوم نبعث من كل أمة شهيدا ثم لا يؤذن للذين كفروا ولا هم يستعتبون فإذا رأى الذين ظلموا العذاب فلا يخفف عنهم ولا هم ينظرون فإذا رأى الذين أشركوا شركاءهم قالوا ربنا هؤلاء شركاؤنا الذين كنا ندعو من دونك فألقوا إليهم القول إنكم لكاذبون فألقوا إلى الله يومئذ السلم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون.
80. And among his blessings on you, God has made for you of your houses places of dwellings and rest, and he has made for you from their hides of cattle another kind of dwellings that you find light when you travel and when you stop to camp. And in their wool, fur, and hair, he has provided you with means for furnishings and enjoyable comforts for an appointed transient term. 81. And among countless other blessings of his, he has made for you out of the things he has created shelter from the sun, and given you refuges in the mountains, and made the means whereby you make garments to protect you from heat or cold, and garments such as coats of mail to protect you from your mutual violence. In this way, he completes his favors on you so that you may submit to him and thereby receive the greatest favor of all. 82. Then if they, despite these blessings of God and his completing his favors upon them through this revelation, turn away, what rests with you, O messenger, is only to convey the message fully and clearly. 83. They are fully aware of God's favors, but they refuse to acknowledge them as such, and most of them are obstinate unbelievers, willfully and stubbornly associating partners with him in belief and worship, committing worship. 84. But a day will come when we raise up a witness from among every community to testify against them that God's religion was communicated to them. Then those who were unbelievers will not be allowed to speak their excuses, nor will they be allowed it then being too late to make amends. 85. When those who persist in wrongdoing by associating partners with God and committing evil see the punishment, it will not be lightened for them, nor will they be reprieved. 86. And when those who associate partners with God see their associate deities, such as prophets, saints, and heroes, whom they hold as partners with gods in worship and absolute obedience, they will say, Our Lord, those are our associate deities, whom we held as partners with you, and used to invoke apart from you. They are the ones who led us astray. Whereupon those beings fling at them the retort, You are indeed liars. 87. On that day, those who associated partners with God, have offered submission to God, which out of arrogance they used to withhold, and what they used to fabricate by way of false deities to worship besides God has failed them.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله زدناهم عذابا فوق العذاب بما كانوا يفسدون ويوم نبعث في كل أمة شهيدا عليهم من أنفسهم وجئنا بك شهيدا على هؤلاء ونزلنا عليك الكتاب تبيانا لكل شيء وهدى ورحمة وبشرى للمسلمين إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأوفوا بعهد الله إذا عاهدتم ولا تنقضوا الأيمان بعد توكيدها وقد جعلتم الله عليكم كفيلا إن الله يعلم ما تفعلون ولا تكونوا كالتي نقضت غزلها من بعد قوة أنكاثا تتخذون أيمانكم دخلا بينكم أن تكون أمة هي أربى من أمة إنما يبلوكم الله به وليبينن لكم يوم القيامة ما كنتم فيه تختلفون ولو شاء الله لجعلكم أمة واحدة ولكن يضل من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء ولتسألن عما كنتم تعملون
88. Those who themselves disbelieved and barred other people from God's way, we add punishment to their punishment because they used to spread disorder and corruption. 89. And on that day, we will rise up within every community a witness from among themselves to testify against them that God's religion was communicated to them. And we will bring you, O messenger, as a witness against those whom your message has reached. We have set down on you the book as an exposition of everything that pertains to guidance and error, and to knowledge of good and evil, and to happiness and misery in both worlds, and guidance and mercy and glad tidings for the Muslims, those who submitted themselves wholly to God. 90. God enjoys justice and right judgment in all matters, and devotion to doing good, and generosity towards the relatives, and he forbids you indecency, wickedness, and vile conduct, all offenses against the religion, life, personal property, chastity, and health of mind and body. He exhorts you repeatedly so that you may reflect and be mindful. 91. And fulfill God's covenant when you have made the covenant and any commitment that you made among yourselves in God's name. And do not break your oaths after having confirmed them. Indeed, you have made your God guarantor. Surely God knows all that you do. 92. And do not be like her who destroys her yarn that she herself made strong, betraying thereby her own effort. By making your oaths a means of deception among yourselves in order that you may be a community greater in numbers, in power and other worldly things than another community. In this God is only testing you. On the day of resurrection, he will certainly make clear to you all that on which you used to differ. 93. Had God so willed, he would have made you all one single community with same faith and religion. But he has granted you free will with the result that he leads astray whomever he wills, and he guides whomever he wills. You will certainly be called to account for what you used to do.
ولا تتخذوا أيمانكم دخلا بينكم فتزل قدم بعد ثبوتها وتذوقوا السوء بما صددتم عن سبيل الله ولكم عذاب عظيم ولا تشتروا بعهد الله ثمنا قليلا إنما عند الله هو خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون ما عندكم ينفد وما عند الله باق ولنجزين الذين صبروا أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون فإذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنه ليس له سلطان على الذين آمنوا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون إنما سلطانه على الذين يتولونه والذين هم به مشركون وإذا بدلنا آية مكان آية والله أعلم بما ينزل قالوا إنما أنت مفتر بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون قل نزله روح القدس من ربك بالحق ليثبت الذين آمنوا وهدى وبشرى للمسلمين.
'94. Do not make your oaths a means of deception and wrongdoing among yourselves, lest feet should slip from the way of guidance, after having been firm on it, and that others too may be misled by your misconduct. And you should taste the evil consequences of your bearing from God's way. And in the hereafter, there is a mighty punishment for you. 95. And do not sell God's covenant for a trifling price, such as status and other worldly gains. Surely, what is with God is the best for you, but if you but knew. 96. Whatever is with you wastes away, but that which is with God is permanent. We will most certainly pay those who are persevering and patient in fulfilling God's commandments, refraining from sins, and all the adversities in God's cause. They reward in accordance with the best of what they used to do. 97. Whoever does good, righteous deeds, whether male or female, and is a believer, most certainly we will make him or her live a good life, and most certainly we will pay such as these their reward in accordance with the best of what they used to do. 98. So when you recite the Quran as a good, righteous deed, seek refuge in God from Satan rejected, from God's mercy, because of his evil suggestions and whisperings during the recitation. 99. Surely he has no power over those who believe and put their trust in their Lord. 100. His power is only over those who make a confidant of him, seeking and heeding his suggestions and direction, and those who associate partners with God in worship and obedience. 101. When we put a revelation in place of another revelation, in the course of perfecting the religion and completing our favor upon you, and God knows best what he sends down, they say, you are but a forger. No, rather, most of them do not know. 102. Say to them, O Messenger, my Lord affirms, the Spirit of holiness brings it down in parts from your Lord with truth, embodying the truth and within nothing false in it, that it may confirm those who believe, strengthening them in their faith and adherence to God's way, and as guidance and glad tidings for the Muslims, those who have submitted themselves wholly to God.
ولقد نعلم أنهم يقولون إنما يعلمه بشر لسان الذي يلحدون إليه أعجمي وهذا لسان عربي مبين إن الذين لا يؤمنون بآيات الله لا يهديهم الله ولهم عذاب أليم إنما يفتري الكذب الذين لا يؤمنون بآيات الله أولئك هم الكاذبون من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان ولكن من شرح بالكفر صدرا فعليهم غضب من الله ولهم عذاب عظيم ذلك بأنهم استحبوا الحياة الدنيا على الآخرة وأن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين أولئك الذين طبع الله على قلوبهم وسمعهم وأبصارهم وأولئك هم الغافلون لا جرم أنهم في الآخرة هم الخاسرون ثم إن ربك للذين هاجروا من بعد ما فتنوا ثم جاهدوا وصبروا إن ربك من بعدها لغفور رحيم.
103. Certainly we know what they say. It is but a human being that teaches him. But the tongue of him to whom they falsely hint is outlandish, while this Quran is in clear Arabic tongue. 104. Surely those who do not believe in God's revelations and therefore persist in wrongdoing, God does not guide them to the way of true prosperity, and for them is a painful punishment. 105. Only those fabricate lies who do not believe in God's revelations, and those who are the liars. Those are the liars. 106. Whoever disbelieves in God after having believed, not he who is under duress, while his heart is firm in and content with faith, but the one only willingly opens up his heart to unbelief, upon them falls God's anger, his condemnation of them, and for them is a mighty punishment. 107. That is because they have chosen the present worldly life in preference to the hereafter. And because God does not guide the people of unbelief to the way of true prosperity and paradise. 108. Those are they upon whose hearts, hearing, and eyes God has set a seal. And those are they who are unmindful, heedless. 109. No doubt, in the hereafter, they will be other losers. 110. Yet surely your Lord turns with favor to those who emigrate after they have been subjected to persecutions because of their faith, and thereafter exert themselves in God's cause and endure with patience whatever befalls them. Indeed, in return for such good deeds, your Lord is all forgiving, all compassionate.
يوم تأتي كل نفس تجادل عن نفسها وتوفى كل نفس ما عملت وهم لا يظلمون. وضرب الله مثلا قرية كانت آمنة مطمئنة يأتيها رزقها رغدا من كل مكان فكفرت بأنعم الله فأذاقها الله لباس الجوع والخوف بما كانوا يصنعون. ولقد جاءهم رسول منهم فكذبوه فأخذهم العذاب وهم ظالمون. فكلوا مما رزقكم الله حلالا طيبا واشكروا نعمة الله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون. إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن الله غفور رحيم. ولا تقولوا لما تصف ألسنتكم الكذب هذا حلال وهذا حرام لتفتروا على الله الكذب إن الذين يفترون على الله الكذب لا يفلحون. متاع قليل ولهم عذاب أليم. وعلى الذين هادوا حرمنا ما قصصنا عليك من قبل وما ظلمناهم ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون.
111. Be ever mindful of the day when every soul will come pleading for itself, and every soul will be repaid in full for what it did, and none of them will be wronged. 112. God strikes a parable of a township, which was secure and at ease, with its provision coming to it in abundance from all quarters. But it showed ingratitude to God, its people disbelieved, attribute their apparent well-being to other than God, and so fell into the habit of making up partners with him in belief and worship and daily life, and so God caused it to taste the garment of famine and fear because of what they habitually contrive. 113. For sure a messenger from among themselves had come to them, but they denied him, and in consequence, the punishment seized them while they were doing wrong. 114. So, O people, partake as pure, lawful, and wholesome of what God has provided you, and give thanks for his bounty, if it is indeed him that you worship. 115. He has made unlawful to you only carrion and blood and flesh of swine, and that the animal which is offered in the name of other than God. Yet whoever is constrained by dire necessity to eat of them, provided he does not covet what is forbidden and does not exceed the bounds of necessity, no sin shall be on him. Surely God is all forgiving, all compassionate. 116. And do not pronounce for what your tongues falsely describe. This is lawful and this is forbidden, so that you fabricate falsehood in attribution to God. Surely those who fabricate falsehood in attribution to God do not prosper. 117. Their lot is a brief enjoyment in this world, and theirs is a painful punishment in the hereafter. 118. And for those who are Jews, We made unlawful what we have already related to you. We have never wronged them, but they did habitually wrong themselves.
ثم إن ربك للذين عملوا السوء بجهالة ثم تابوا من بعد ذلك وأصلحوا إن ربك من بعدها لغفور رحيم. إن إبراهيم كان أمة قانتا لله حنيفا ولم يك من المشركين شاكرا لأنعمه اجتباه وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم وآتيناه في الدنيا حسنة وإنه في الآخرة لمن الصالحين. ثم أوحينا إليك أن اتبع ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين إنما جعل السبت على الذين اختلفوا فيه وإن ربك ليحكم بينهم يوم القيامة فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون. ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. وإن عاقبتم فعاقبوا بمثل ما عوقبتم به ولئن صبرتم لهو خير للصابرين. واصبر وما صبرك إلا بالله ولا تحزن عليهم ولا تك في ضيق مما يمكرون إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون. صدق الله العظيم.
119. Then indeed your Lord is to those who do evil due to ignorance, an instant of defeat to the evil commanding soul. And after that repent, soon as they realize what they have done is wrong, and mend their ways and conduct, indeed your Lord is all forgiving, all compassionate, with special mercy toward his penitent servants. 120. Abraham was an exemplary leader, whose self-dedication to the good of his community made him as if a community, sincerely obedient to God as a man of pure faith, free from any stain of unbelief and hypocrisy. And he was not of those who associate partners with God. 121. Always thankful for his favors. God chose him and guided him to a straight path to follow himself and guide others. 122. We grant him good in the world, and he is surely among the righteous in the hereafter. 123. Thereafter, we have revealed to you, O Messenger, follow the way of Abraham as one of pure faith, free from unbelief and hypocrisy. And he was never of those who associate partners with God. 124. The Sabbath was ordained only for those who differed about it, not for all the communities that were to follow the way of Abraham. Your Lord will assuredly judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning that on which they used to differ. 125. Call to the way of your Lord with wisdom and fair exhortation and argue with them in the best way possible. Your Lord surely knows best who has gone astray from his way, and he knows best who are the rightly guided. 126. If you have to respond to any wrong, respond only to measure of the wrong done to you. But if you endure patiently, it is indeed better for the patient. 127. Endure patiently. Your endurance is only for God's sake and by his help, and do not grieve for them because of their attitude toward your mission, nor be distressed because of what they scheme. 128. Surely God is with those who keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety, and those who devoted to doing good, aware of that God is seeing them. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Brothers and sisters, we just finished part 14. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue with part 15. There is a playlist in Nick's YouTube site. You can go and look for the previous recordings. If you miss any, you can listen from the playlist. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.